Gervais. ABC Columbia News at 6.
A former police officer convicted in the shooting death of an unarmed black man is in court facing sentencing. Tonight, we are in the Charleston courtroom. Well, good evening, and thank you for joining us for ABC Columbia News at 6. I'm Alicia Barnes.
And I'm Josh Berry. Michael Slager faced a judge today in federal court. He's pleaded guilty to federal civil rights charges in the shooting death of Walter Scott.
And that shooting was caught on cell phone video, and that video went viral.
ABC Columbia's Alexis Frazier, she's been inside the courtroom today. She joins us live now from Charleston with the latest. Alexis?
Yeah, guys, this key point of today's trial seems to be the taser. Everyone asking both sides, where was the taser during the altercation and who actually had the taser? They even brought in 3 key witnesses who could help paint a clearer picture of what actually happened. From the jump, Slager's attorney, Andy Savage, he was saying that his client, he's going to prove his client is an ethical officer and did not show any racial malice to minorities. He even grilled a SLED agent who took the stand. Savage questioning why didn't the SLED agent record Slager's interviews with SLED and questioned the agent's knowledge of tasers because he said there were some discrepancies there. Walter Scott's DNA was found on the taser according to officials. However, the prosecutors say Slager told officials he found the taser somewhere other than what the video actually showed. An FBI agent who enhanced the video frame by frame said the images show Slager dropping the taser by Scott's body. The key witness, Fadine Santino, who recorded the shooting, took the stand and said Slager was on top of Scott the entire time and didn't get up until he ran away. Now, he was asked, why didn't you take the video to authorities? But he said after what he just saw, he couldn't. He feared for his life. The prosecution is asking for a life sentence while the defense is asking for about 10 years. We'll be back here tomorrow inside the courtroom to hear from more witnesses tomorrow. Live in Charleston, Alexis Frazier, ABC Columbia News.
All right, Alexis, thanks. South Carolina's first African-American Supreme Court justice passed away on Sunday. That's according to Clerk of Court Brenda Shealy. Ernest Finney served as an Associate Justice from 1985 to 1994 and Chief Justice from 1994 until his retirement in 2000. Columbia Mayor Steve Benjamin tweeted Monday morning that Chief Justice Finney was a leader in every sense of the word. He was wise and humble. South Carolina was enriched by his service. No other details surrounding his death were released. Former Chief Justice Ernest Finney was 86 years old.
More than a dozen people are homeless tonight after an early morning fire at a Columbia apartment complex. The Columbia Fire says that the flames broke out at the Charbonneau Apartments on Stonewoods Drive, which happened around 2:30 this morning. And no one was injured, but authorities say now about 19 people are displaced. And the Red Cross says that it's helping find shelter for those people who lost their homes. Well, we saw a sunny start to our work week. It's dark outside right now, but it's still kind of a chill in the air. Not a bad night this evening.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad day at all. Let's bring in Chief Meteorologist John Farley for the very latest on what is now December weather. John?
Yeah, it is. It's not bad either. Both of you, I'd sum it up about that way as well. 50s, some 60s in here as well. And it's a pretty comfortable night if you're headed outside. No rain in the forecast for now. We'll talk more about the future coming up. Comfortable, mostly clear skies with winds light. Now tomorrow morning, your morning commute should be quiet. There'll be a few clouds in play, but nothing big. Temperatures will not be very cold tomorrow morning, around 50 degrees or so to get things going. And tomorrow is going to be a delightful day. Look at these temperatures here. How about low 70s? But if you like the low 70s, enjoy tomorrow because tomorrow's the last of it. Tomorrow night, a pretty good cold front comes in here. Remember, cold front, that's the front edge of colder air. Yeah, we'll talk about how cold and how long coming up.
All right, John, thanks. Tonight, an SC State basketball player is recovering in a hospital after collapsing on the court on Saturday. Medical staff say they performed CPR and had to revive the player there.
This is just a miracle story. ABC Columbia's Angela Rogers has more now on the player's condition and what the team is now urging everyone to do just in case of an emergency.
During Saturday's game against North Carolina State, SC State player Ty Solomon fell to the ground. His heart suddenly stopped beating. Thanks to the immediate response of emergency personnel performing CPR, Solomon is now in stable condition, according to sources.
The EMTs were responding while our team trainer was responding, and we're just thankful for that, you know, I guess you have all these things in place for a situation like this, but you never expect it to happen. You don't actually say, hey, let's practice this situation, you know, but thanks be to God that, he's okay.
The team credits Solomon's survival to the CPR training staff had, which was quickly enacted after his collapse, something that Tanjanique Anderson with CPR ASAP says was the biggest factor to his recovery.
I commend them for what they did, the amount of time that they took to spring into action. I was of course, sorry that happened to the young man, but thrilled to know that the people who were responding did exactly what was necessary.
Anderson knows firsthand how important CPR training is, and she's happy the team is taking this moment to tell people absolutely everyone needs to have CPR training.
My mother saved my grandmother's life by performing CPR. She invested not even 2 minutes into performing these techniques on my grandmother, and it sustained her life for 13 years.
And Anderson says it's easy. Just signing up for a class and getting CPR certified can be the difference between life or death for someone. And as assistant coach Rio Pitts says, you never know when you're going to need that training.
For every passing minute that goes by on a person who needs CPR and they don't get it, the survival rate diminishes between 7 and 10%.
To find CPR classes in your area, head to our website, abccolumbia.com. Angela Rogers, ABC Columbia News.
All right, in just a few weeks, it'll be Christmas, and that means even for people who are spending their holidays in prison. With that in mind, this afternoon, the Southern Baptist Convention and the South Carolina Women's Missionary Union put together care packages for inmates. And the packages include toothpaste, toothbrush, soap, and candy. The inmates will also get a pen, notepad, envelopes, and a scripture booklet.
The scripture teaches us that we're supposed to love one another, and we're supposed to care for those who are less fortunate. And so this is a way for us to give back to the inmates of South Carolina at Christmas time. And just to give them a small gift means a lot.
And the Christmas Packets for Prisoners Project has been a holiday tradition for 40 years.
And tonight's the night to see how the First Family's home is decorated for Christmas. Santa's there along with all the decorations you might expect. It's going on right now until 7:30. It's over at the Governor's Mansion on 800 Richland Street. Well, we shared this story with you last week. A West Columbia man went viral after making his own meal at Waffle House when there was no one there to take his order.
Yeah, this is a very cool story. Thousands of shares later after this went viral on social media. The man is now speaking out to ABC Columbia about his newfound notoriety. And our Gabrielle Franklin caught up with the man who's grilling up some fame.
I'm still the same old guy, still going to get up and go to work tomorrow morning. So, I mean, whatever comes out of it, comes out of it.
West Columbia flooring installer Alex Bowen says he never expected his early morning Waffle House adventure to go viral.
I expected I would share it on Facebook. A couple of my friends would see it, like it, comment on it, and it would pass into history as most things I've done has. You know?
The thousands of shares and hundreds of news articles come after Bowen visited the Waffle House on Platte Springs Road in West Columbia around 3 a.m. last Thursday.
I got there, I expected to be greeted by a smiling Waffle House employee. Instead, I was greeted by nobody.
That's when the Army vet took matters into his own hands.
As I was going around the corner, I saw the sleeping employee, and you know, they looked tired, they were sleeping. I was like, you know, go ahead and rest, fam, I got this.
Bowen says the employee stayed asleep as he made his Waffle House favorite.
The Texas bacon cheesesteak melt, a double with extra pickles.
After cooking, Bowen says he cleaned the grill and left. That's when he went home and wrote the now infamous post.
I mean, I'm a bit overwhelmed with calls and emails and messages. I'm overwhelmed. That's about it.
Though the Waffle House employee was disciplined, everything is good between the restaurant and Bowen. In a statement, Waffle House tells ABC Columbia, "We're glad Alex was able to enjoy his Texas bacon cheesesteak. We've apologized to Alex and have invited him back to eat with us. We also promised him we'd do the cooking next time." For those wondering if Bowen will ever step foot inside this Waffle House again.
Oh, absolutely. Waffle House for life.
In West Columbia, Gabrielle Franklin, ABC Columbia News.
It was a happy ending there.
Yeah,
you know
what you got to do when you want your Waffle House. If you have to make it yourself, you're going to have to make it yourself.
I know. I just think it's cool that he cleaned up. I think that's so cool. Not only did he pay, he paid for his food later the next day, but he cleaned up after his mess. Well, later this week, be sure to tune in to Good Morning Columbia for a special Waffle House reunion with Mr. Bowen.
All right, up next, it's something many of us do every day, but you may be surprised at how long texting has been around. We'll be right back with more ABC Columbia News at 6.
Gervais. This is ABC Columbia News with Josh Berry, Alicia Barnes, weather with Chief Meteorologist John Farley, and sports with Mike Gillespie. Experience ABC Columbia News at 6.
Welcome back. Thanks for watching ABC Columbia News at 6. Well, texting is now a quarter of a century old. The first text message was sent on December the 3rd in 1992. British engineer Neil Papworth sent the first ever text from his computer to his cell phone. It was a 2-word message: Merry Christmas. That's some trivia for you. Well, Papworth says the person he sent the historic message to was not able to reply because people back then could only receive text messages.
And if you want one more addition for Christmas, the Columbia Animal Shelter is hoping you'll make Holly part of your holiday celebration. You can meet Holly, the shelter's pet of the week. The folks at the shelter say this 3-year-old coonhound mix is very gentle and sweet. If you would like to bring Holly home, just call the number there on your screen, or you can go by the shelter on Humane Lane. John?
Yeah, Josh, pretty warm again today, almost 70 degrees. Now, there's one more of these, but after that, things are going to really come crashing down, and some rain to get there. All those details and timing on the other side of the break.